from any of them scenarios, because most of these chicks, like, they don't even know who their daddy is.
I'm gonna stay in my lane.
But a man, just like y'all was saying about the condom thing, a man would respect you a little more if it was on some one night stand and she could be like, hold on, baby, you gotta strap up. A man will actually look at you with more respect. Now, you know, after y'all done smashed a few times, this is where the problem lies.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all done smashed
Talk
a few
about
times. Now it's time for the rubber to come off.
Yeah.
And y'all ain't had that
conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, everybody, once you get comfortable with somebody, you can smash a few times. Okay, now it's, you know, it's grown folk time.
That's how my son got here.
How'd your son get here, B?
No, I'm serious.
No, don't say
I
learned.
Is it a setup or did he volunteer to participate?
I opened. I literally.
He said that. I didn't set it up.
We had a long standing friendship during the pandemic. Yeah, y'all done heard this story before. We talked about it. We was like, yo, no condoms. Hey, but on the off chance this happens, what we doing? I was in a position where I'm older. I can afford to take care of my son. I am well into my career to be able to do this. So when the question was posed, I thought about it logically from where I stood. So yeah, my when that happened and it was like, oh yo, I'm pregnant. It's like, okay. Right. We had the conversation already, but before we had that conversation, before anything, like soon as we was like, hey yo, hey man, because honestly, I'm gonna be real, like I was like, hey man, I'm a little too old for this condom shit. I'm a little too, I pay a little too much into my 401k for this condom shit right now.
Get it on, risk it on.
Like I'm just being real. Like it was a little arrogant moment, but it was with a trusted person that I knew I could have that open and honest conversation with. So now we both parent our kid, happiest little boy ever, and it ain't no problem. But I knew what I signed up for. So now, even when things are shifting that I wasn't 100% expecting, I'm like, okay, I knew what I signed up for, and I know I have to move because this is what I signed up for. Like there are some things that are gonna happen, and I'm gonna have to be like, okay, wasn't expecting that 100%, but that's a part of being a parent.
I was so deathly afraid.
Oh, dude, I'm 34. I was terrified. She wasn't wrong. Dudes are scared to have. They view kids as a bad thing. Like a lot
I was
of dudes
so deathly afraid that I just made up in my mind I wasn't gonna have no kids. I wasn't even gonna put myself in a position to have no kids outside of wedlock. I was so. I don't know if it was just the way I was raised, my instincts, whatever. I'm sure all of it contributed, right? But in a general sense, for me, it just wasn't it couldn't happen. It wasn't a thing. I was never gonna get a woman pregnant out of wedlock. So much so to even when I got married, we was having a conversation to determine whether or not we even wanted to have kids a kid in the first place. If we were gonna have a kid, I was only gonna have one. After I had my kid, I got a vasectomy. That was end of the conversation. Like it wasn't a thing. I never had a scare. I never was in a position to be scared. That just never was a thing to me. So I don't know what guys go through when they in those type of positions because I've never had to plan for a child with a chick that I didn't see myself being with for the rest of my life. So it's just a completely different experience, and it's always interesting to hear the perspective of other guys that go through it because I've never even been in a position to have that possibility of even going through it at all. So it's just wild to me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I have 3 boys, but I was 22 when I had my first son, and I was in like a 10-year relationship. But I planned to have my kids. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, oops, here they are, whatever. For me, the scary part wasn't until he was actually born. And then you're looking like, damn, I'm responsible for him. You feel what I'm saying? So I gotta make sure he's straight, and it's when you realize you're responsible for something other than yourself.
That pressure.
and that's it's crazy. But no, I was just determined I wasn't gonna be no teenage father.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Lance.
That hospital room, that's a motherfucker.
Hey, yo.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, real talk.
Hey, fuck y'all. Y'all be talking about, well, we gotta go through nigga. We gotta watch that shit.
Oh, you
Fuck
saw
you
everything.
and all that, man. Man, that shit is terror dog.
Hey.
And I'm talking about y'all, y'all be going through y'all thing. I understand. Y'all just don't understand what we see.
But you don't feel
During
it.
that. Nah, but y'all don't gotta watch that shit, though.
Yeah, that shit is
Y'all-
You know what I'm
horrible.
saying? I
We gotta
understand.
feel it.
Okay, I understand y'all feeling it.
That shit is horrible, especially if you gotta watch
nah,
if
you
you
was
see
on
the
something.
C-section.
That's what I'm talking about.
See, I'm very blessed. She didn't have a C-section.
Yeah, bro.
C-section shit.
None
Nah.
of that. Like, but again, like, even when she was having a kid, like, I wasn't prepared for that. Like, but I didn't trip for whatever reason. And I think that just maybe I just had such an attachment to my daughter. And I was so obsessed with her before she even got here. And I was talking to her. I was the first person to hold her. I was talking to her. And that was my heart. And even to this day, like, the same way that I was best friends with my father, like, my father was my best friend in the world. She's the way that I am. She's that way with me that I was with my father. And we, like homies, like, literally, I come home with a new hoodie, and she go right in my closet and steal it. And next thing you know, she wearing it tomorrow, and I never get it back. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just certain things that I couldn't imagine. Two things. I couldn't imagine myself being able to do that with somebody that it's not mine.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. Number two, I just can't imagine having a kid and I'm not in their kid life. I just can't. That's just not
That's
me.
the
I'm
one
not
that don't
built
work
for
for
it.
me.
It's just different for me.
That don't work.
I can't imagine it either, but this is the type of people this society is making.
I always just think, I just be like, thank you for my daddy, because at the end of the day, I never felt unwanted. I never felt unprotected. I never felt unloved. I never felt not pretty. I never felt not good about myself, all because of my dad. So
That's why you didn't have no one-night stands.
yeah.
Like real talk.
He really
Like
used
real
to talk to
talk.
me and tell me, like, no, this ain't what you about to do, and so my dad just used to talk to me, and so that's why I really don't understand why a man could have like 7 kids and not feel like he should be attached to none of them. Like, that part to me just doesn't make any kind
But
of sense.
that's
But I
different,
get
though, E.
but I
That's
get it.
different.
I get it, but I don't get it because I've never lived it.